Real talk, most real estate agents don't fail because they don't know enough. They fail because they don't stop to actually plan. And if you are heading into 2026, which is just around the corner already, without an actual plan, then you are setting yourself up to keep on hustling without seeing real results. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my simple 3-step planning system. And we're going to do it together. That way, by the time this video ends, you are going to know exactly what to do in 2026 to have your best year yet. Grab a notebook or open a spreadsheet and let's get to it. And if you're actually ready to take this a level deeper and have the accountability to stick to your plan all year long, then I would love to invite you to book a totally free strategy call with me. I'll walk you through what it would look like to implement this plan all year long inside your business with the right systems and support with Market Authority Academy, my coaching program for real estate agents who want more structure, organization, and support in their real estate biz. The link to book that call is in the caption below. And if you're new here, I'm Stephanie Lugo. I've been a full-time real estate agent for over a decade, and I coach real estate agents across North America inside my program, the Market Authority Academy. And I have seen firsthand what happens when agents plan with intention versus when they just wing it. And I want to help you get on the right side of that equation. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Business planning is just asking 2 questions. What did we do this year? And what do we want to change? We have to start with your leads. In order to know what we did this year, we have to get an idea of some of the metrics that matter in your business. And that's going to come down to being able to track the number of leads that came in the last 12 months. So this might sound familiar if you're in the Market Authority Academy because yes, this is in Module 1, but you want to go ahead and pull up a spreadsheet or a paper or whatever makes sense for you and draft out a list of all of the leads that you generated this year. So here's the rule. If they raised their hand in the last 12 months, considering buying or selling in the next 12 months, they count, even if it didn't work out. Think through every text, DM, open house lead, Zillow reach out, or referral, and write them all down. Pause this video right now and add at least 10 leads to your list. And I'll see you in a second. Okay, so now in step 2, we need to make sense of that list. Create a second tab called deals. If you're doing this on a spreadsheet, this means just like open a second tab. If you're doing this on paper, make a second list. Copy over the leads that actually became a closed deal onto the deals tab or the deals list. These are your wins. And this step helps you actually determine your conversion rate, which is how many leads it takes to turn into one closed deal. So pause here, add your closed deals from this year and any you have in the pipe that you're pretty decently sure are going to close before the end of the year. And even if it's just a handful, write them down. Don't overthink it. Okay, quick question for you before we proceed. What is the biggest surprise that you found in looking at your leads and your closed deals so far this year? Drop it in the comments. I love seeing those aha moments. Okay, so let me tell you a story about how this process, these first 2 steps, changed everything in our business one year. Back in 2018, Bryce and I had been in the business for a couple of years, and we had our worst year ever. Like 2018, we were 3-4 years in the business at that point. That's when things should have started clicking for our real estate business, but it was terrible. It was a terrible year. And part of that was because the year prior, we had gotten married, we went on a honeymoon, we were traveling, we were having a great time, and we had totally taken our foot off the gas and just weren't paying attention to business the way that we had been. And so 2018 comes around and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? This cannot continue going on. We never want to have another year like this. And so we went back to this business planning process that we do every single year since the year we got into real estate. We wrote down all the leads that had come in and all the closings, which were not many. It was a terrible year. And we found that we had been spending all of our time and energy that we were putting towards real estate towards one lead source that had the lowest conversion rate, meaning we're getting tons of leads but only closing less than 5% of them, had the lowest price point, the hardest to deal with buyers, if you know, you know. And because of that, we were spending 80% of our time and energy with something that was yielding 20% of the results for us. What we saw in those numbers was that while that lead source was awful, and we decided at that moment we probably need to have a plan to wean ourselves off of that and move towards something better. On the other side, our number 1 lead sources were Instagram, social media, totally organic, just posting and letting people find us naturally, and referrals and repeat business. Now, it wasn't a lot. We weren't getting a lot of business in either of those two lead sources, but we saw that the numbers supported that we are converting way higher at like 40+% with those lead sources rather than 5% on this other lead source. And so we put a 12-month plan in place to completely switch our business, focus on more repeat and referral, and getting more organic Instagram leads. And we 4x'd our income in 12 months. It was unbelievable what we were able to do in our business in such a short amount of time because we had clarity on the numbers and we were able to make very strategic decisions based off of that data. This is why you want to do this work. So if you came back to this video halfway through grabbing your leads and you're like, oh, no, so not right now, I'm not in the mood, go back, finish that up. I promise this could be the start of the next chapter and the most successful phase of your real estate business if you do this work. Okay, so at this point, you've got your list of leads. So you can determine where your leads are coming from, and you can kind of start to see like, oh, I'm not generating enough leads at all, or I am generating enough leads, I'm not closing enough leads. You're gonna start noticing where the gaps are. Now what we need to do is create some projections, some goals, some target metrics for 2026. What's brilliant about this is that you are not going to just scratch, I want to earn $100,000 this year on the wall and then calling it good. Based on the numbers you have, we are going to make informed decisions on what we want to be working towards in 2026. So look at your data now, look at next year, be real here, be realistic, and write down a couple of things. I want you to write down, number one, how many deals you want to close in 2026. And what's realistic? So if you find that you had 4 closed deals this year and you want to close 35 deals next year, you probably can, but you might not be able to do it the same way that you were doing things this year. So what needs to change? You should also be writing down your average sales price for what you want to be closing next year. So when we decided from my story in 2018 to get rid of that old lead source, our average sales price was literally like 180 to 240, something like that with those leads. But with our Instagram clients and our repeat and referrals, it was closer to 400K. And so we're doing the math and we're like, okay, hang on. We could double our income by working with the same number of clients, if we just shifted more towards that bucket of people and ignored the others, right? So like start to determine what your average sales price is for 2025 and whether that needs to change and whether it can change in 2026. So with that information, you can then, number 3, write down your target take-home income. Because you can also determine here what your average commission was for 2025 because you have your closed deals. You should be able to go back in and see what your average commission was for those and then do the same math on your projected numbers for 2026. For example, if you want to close 10 deals next year and your average price point is 400K and your average commission is 2 bananas, you can do some very simple math there and create what you would project to earn next year. Now, let's look a little bit closer here. If you closed 12 deals in 2025 and you want to close 24 deals in 2026, you need to figure out where those other 12 deals are going to come from and which lead sources will support that. Is it going to be as simple as just generating 12 more leads? Well, if your conversion rate is not 100%, then it's probably not going to be that simple. So do the math, figure it out. So pause one more time, polish up your 2026 numbers. How many deals? At what price point? To bring home how much income? If you are totally lost here, and if you have been in the business for years, and you've not done this work, and if you are not closing consistently 1 to 2 deals a month, then you need to fix this piece in your business. This is not something that's optional when you become a business owner. You have to have clarity on the numbers no matter how uncomfortable it feels in the moment. If you're not naturally a numbers person like I am not, because newsflash, I am not a numbers person. I am not a spreadsheet person. I'm not even organized. You should see my closet. It's not cute, but I have determined that these things have to happen in order for me to live the life I would like to live. So a little bit of tough love here. It doesn't matter whether or not this comes naturally to you. It does not come naturally to me either. You need to either figure it out or you need to get a coach, like someone like me or someone you trust, to help you close the gap. There is a reason why this process is the very first thing that we do in Market Authority Academy, and it's to create an individualized routine and system and plan for every single agent, which is why we have such a high level of success for agents who go through the program. And now here's the magic. Once you see this on paper, you can't unsee it. You're going to notice some surprises here. Most agents have a similar experience to what I had, where they realize they're spending all their time chasing low converting leads and ignoring the lead sources who are dying to work with them. That is the power of this exercise. It shows you exactly what to double down on and what you can finally let go of. If this gave you clarity, don't stop here. Let's build a full system around your plan so that you can meet and exceed these goals. Book a free strategy call with me below, and I will walk you through the exact next steps that you'll need to take to make 2026 your best year yet. Now, if this video was helpful, go ahead and like it. Subscribe to this channel if you have not yet, because next week I'm going to be sharing a simple script that you can use to get back in touch with all of those next year clients who are sitting on your lead list. Because chances are you probably came up with a handful of leads that you didn't realize you had ghosted. And I'm going to help you get back in touch with them and maybe shake the tree a little bit, maybe get a couple more deals in the pipeline for the next couple of months. Trust me, you're going to want this one in your toolkit, so I'll see you there. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, keep on crushing it.